Hey, this is Kurt the Boat Doctor. It started off nice. At least the wind ain't blowing 100 miles an hour. Anyway, the reason why, a couple reasons why you weren't getting your speed. But then someone must have deleted all your calibrations on that. So I recalibrated and reset all that on your Garmin Autopilot display. Now another thing you got to remember when you're running this, make sure this friction's all the way off on your throttle. If you have that tight, that can wear on that throttle and maybe not engage it. So you just make sure there's no tension on that. That's your tension for your throttle. Back it all the way off. This had a jet, so we put a lower unit on it, and man, it made it a rocket. Now this is a River Wild, really nice boat. I think it was a 2018. It looks brand new. Good placement of that cell battery. Kicker over here, and he went to hydraulic steering again. That makes it sweet, but that distributed the weight. And then they did get the transducer on for the cannon, and then there's a little button up there if you want to hit it. It's above that, I believe, that ground wire. You just hold your finger on it. It's blue, and then for like 5 seconds, and it goes off to turn it off, and you hold it for 5 seconds until you see the blue light. So we're gonna pop this off real quick. Pop this off. So I got that set for him. There's some settings I could have did on this to make it a little sweeter for him, but I don't like to mess with stuff unless I get the okay. Gas, you run down on gas, so you may want to get some gas. Now first of all, what I'm going to do, since everything's up, I'm going to go ahead and show you the lower unit. So when I do that, I'm putting in gear. I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. Then you just push this on. That's your autopilot. This is your GPS sonar. Them Krakens are the bomb, diggity. I got it to read on your MFD. Plus I recalibrated your handheld on both of these. If that one wasn't done for the kicker. Okay. So those are warming up. I'm going to go ahead and show you the lower unit. And I'll just check the radio to make sure. Pop it on. Hit the wiper. Get the nav lights. Everything else seems to work. Hit agree. Hit agree. And I made this display for you. Now it's going to run the heading off of this into this. You'll see how it just loaded up your position right here. It's blinking. So it's waiting for that to energize. There you go. There's your GPS feed, there's your heading, and there's your latitude and longitude. So you can use your autopilot with just this one on, but this is what I set for a heading sensor. So all your digits line up. GPS heading 149, that's about right. Let me see here, I'm going to just go like this. GPS, course over ground, 150. And then if I go off a navigation, heading 141. So I'm going to change that to heading to match this. So see, accurate. So now anyway, I'm going to hit this. Wow. He's going to love this. You know, you had a jet, so you gain about 40% more power. Yeah, this thing gets it. It steers really nice. Now trim the motor to get to where it steers just as easy to the left as it does the right. Once you do that, you should be able to take your hands off this steering wheel and it'll go in a straight line. Perfect. Now that spray you see back there, you need a splash guard for the transducer. That's what that spray is. Yeah, this gets with the program. Now that's just going to show you the lower unit, and it's got water flow. See out the back. So this one works great. So I'm going to bring it back. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut this one off. Now I'm going to go ahead and fire this kicker motor one up just to show you. Trim her down, and you know how to start it, so I don't have to go through that again. But I give it a little throttle, hit it. Put it in gear, tilt that thing up, make sure that friction's all the way off. Now, right here, when you have it on this mode, I've got it now where it can read. If this is on, this will read up here. So now, as far as engaging and stuff, you could go into the menu button right here. You can go to autopilot menu and you can go engage heading hold. Now what I want to do is whack up that speed, right? But I can't do it right now from there, so I have to go over here. So I can either hit the plus or hit this. So if I hit this, it turns green. Now I can see how it went to my last setting. Then I can just, there you go. You can hear it or go down. And stop panning, that brings you back. So you can hit this here. The autopilot you can't though. I noticed. Combo. Whoop, we don't want that. Go home. Go to combo. Go to this one. I did have that for a second. Let me see. So here's your fishing chart. Your fishing map. And your traditional. See, if I tap it, then I can go back. But the only one is the autopilot. You can't. You'd have to physically go into menu. Go to, and here it is right here, autopilot menu. Now directions, I can go forward or reverse on this actually if you wanted to. I set that up. Response time, if this thing you want sitting right like it is. Now if I want to change, I can just hit this 10 degrees, 1 degrees. Now I can do engage circle if I wanted to, pattern steers, engage circle. Now you can see how it's going here to the right. You can adjust the time. Autopilot menu, adjust circle, engage port, starboard time. So now I can go this way, or I can just hit engage heading hold and it'll go that way, or I can use this as well. 10, 1, you hit the menu, and then engage circle, pattern steer, zigzag, so on. So you go back. Now I can turn this one on right here and let that load up. Then hit the menu. Now I want to go 10 over. I hit this one and it's 195. I want to go 10 more. I want to go over to 175, and that should miss that ship hopefully. Pretty damn close. Yeah, look at that. Ha ha ha. Okay, so 1 degree, 10 degrees. Okay, so then I want to turbo boost. I can hit this one. I thought that's what that was. Oh no, that's speed control. I'm sorry. Now this is direction. If you point it, like say right here, if I went like this, you see how it moved it there? Or I can go the other way, and so I recalibrated it so this would be more accurate. And these are like your circle, U-turn, and follow route is what these numbers are set for. Okay, so we got all that, and this is to pause it right here if you wanted to. So now here's another nice thing on this one here. Like say I wanted to do a route, I can tap this one, whoop, tap this one, bring it up, stop panning, whoops, bring that up again. Now I can draw a line clean up to here if I wanted to and tap on that, and I can hit navigate to auto guidance, and I can start navigating, and then it's going to say, do you want to engage autopilot? And I hit engage. Now this thing's going to take me on that route all the way up here, up the channel, and that's on the kicker motor. So, and I can also do it on that bow mount. So now you can stop panning, you can go back to where you were and see how it's lining that up for you. Now if you wanted to just see the autopilot, you can just pop it up there, and there you'd have your speed controls again, and then menus, and again pattern steer, response time, so on. So now I want to stop that. I can hit menu, I can go engage heading hold, and then that gets me off of that auto route I just did, and then I can put it on standby if I want. So then that puts it in there. Now watch this. Not that this can do this, but we're gonna try. We're gonna put that baby in reverse, right? And I'm gonna go engage heading hold, and then I'm gonna go the speed up. Oh, but one thing you do gotta do, my bad. There. And you'll probably want to kick the throttle down. See how it's going in reverse now on autopilot. heading hold, heading hold. That's because I set this in reverse. Now there you go, we're going backwards. You can do a route backwards if you wanted to. So you hit this thing on standby, that kicks that thing off again. So then you bring that, put it neutral, shut that off, make sure you shut that autopilot off. Now you'll know if your motor's working, because if I can turn this motor by hand, that means that isn't froze up. But if say I came out and the autopilot wasn't on, I would go to turn this and it doesn't turn, that tells me that motor's bad. But it's working fine. So again, we're on standby. So now I'm not going to use this anymore. So I go ahead and I hit this button here until the power's off. And then I can go ahead and hit this one, turn off because I don't need it. I shut that one off. I can go back in here, go home, and I can go back into maybe a combo. And let's go into this one. And I'm going to change this. I can change this to here, but I'll leave this. When you're running the autopilot screen, you want to go into navigation and put heading hold right there on the standard heading. But if you're not running the autopilot, then you want to go ahead and 256, let's start this up, and then I'll see if it's accurate. So if I can just leave it on heading, but it should be getting a heading from this when you're using your autopilot. So 175 is right there. Roughly.